Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the science class. Today we continue our discussion on chapter 1 chemical reactions and equations. In today's class, you will learn about the different steps for balancing a chemical equation. The law of conservation of mass says mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. That is, the total mass of the elements present in the products of a chemical reaction has to be equal to the total mass of the elements present in the reactants. The total mass of the elements present in the products of a chemical reaction has to be equal to the total mass of the elements present in the reactants. In other words, we can say the number of atoms of each element remains the same before and after a chemical reaction. Hence, we need to balance a skeletal chemical equation. Let us learn about balancing a chemical equation step by step. The Wade equation for reaction between zinc granules and sulfuric acid may be represented as zinc plus sulfuric acid will give you zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. This Wade equation may be represented by the following chemical equation. Zinc Zn is the formula for zinc. H2SO4 sulfuric acid will give ZnSO4, zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. So let us examine the number of atoms or different elements on both sides of the arrow. The elements zinc, hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen. These are the different elements. The number of atoms present in the reactant side, the zinc 1, hydrogen 2, sulfur 1, oxygen 4. In the product side, number of atoms in products or right hand side of the arrow. Zinc 1, hydrogen 2, sulfur 1, oxygen 4. So, as the number of atoms of each element is same on both sides of the arrow. Therefore, we can say this particular equation is a balanced chemical equation. Now, let us try to balance the following chemical equation. Fe plus H2O will give you Fe3O4 plus H2. The first step for balancing the chemical equation. In order to balance a chemical equation, first draw boxes around each formula. Do not change anything inside the boxes by balancing the equation. This particular equation is a skeletal equation only. It is not a balanced equation. So the first step is draw boxes around each formula. So here we are drawing boxes around each formula. Fe3O4 H2. You are drawing the boxes around each formula. The second step is list the number of atoms or different elements present in the unbalanced equation. Fe, hydrogen, oxygen. Now the number of atoms on the left hand side of the arrow or the reactant side. Fe1, hydrogen 2, oxygen 1. The right hand side of the arrow, iron, Fe 3 atoms, oxygen 4 atoms, hydrogen 2 atoms. See, the number of atoms present on the reactant side and number of atoms present on the product side are not equal. The third step, it is often convenient to start balancing with the compound that contains the maximum number of atoms. It may be a reactant or a product. In the compound given above, the element which has the maximum number of atoms, using this criteria we select Fe3O4 and the element oxygen in it. See, we are taking Fe3O4 first, and in that oxygen will take first. There are 4 oxygen atoms on the right hand side and only 1 on the left hand side. We can see in this particular equation, there are 4 oxygen atoms on the right hand side and only 1 oxygen on the left hand side. So atoms of oxygen in the initial state, so there are 4 oxygen on the right hand side and 1 oxygen on the left hand side. So atom of oxygen, 1 oxygen on the reactant side, 4 oxygen on the product side. In order to balance, you have to add 4 in the reactant side. So equalize the number of atoms. It must be remembered that we cannot alter the formula of the compounds or elements involved in the reactions. For example, now to balance oxygen atom, we can put coefficient 4 as 4H2O and not H2O4 or H2O4, H2O4. So we have to add 4H2O. Not inside the box, outside the box. We cannot change anything inside the box. So we take 4 and we put here. So now we get a partly balanced equation. So the equation will be like this. Fe plus 4H2O will give you Fe3O4 full H2. Still it is not balanced. Fourth step. Now iron, Fe and iron and hydrogen atoms are still not balanced. Pick any of these elements to proceed further. Now let us balance hydrogen atoms in the partly balanced equation. To equalize the number of hydrogen atoms, make the number of molecules of hydrogen as 4 on the right hand side. In the initial state, reactant side, now you have got 8 hydrogen atoms, but in the product side only 4. You can see here, only 2 hydrogen atoms, here 8 hydrogen atoms are there. So now to balance, you have to put 4 here. So the equation will be Fe plus 4 H2O will give you Fe3O4 plus 4H2. So you are adding 4 here, 4H2. So this is also a partly balanced equation only. Still it is not balanced because now iron is remaining. On the product side there are 3 iron atoms, but on the reactant side only 1 iron atom. Now the fifth step, examine the above equation and pick up the third element which is not balanced. You find that only one element is left to be balanced, that is iron atom. So initially only one atom in the reactant side, whereas in the product side there are 3 iron atoms. So now to balance you have to add 3. So now you put 3 here. So 3 Fe plus 4H2O will give you Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Now you can see this particular equation is balanced. There are 3 iron atoms on the reactant side, 3 iron atoms on the product side. There are 8 hydrogen atoms on the reactant side. There are 8 hydrogen atoms on the product side. There are 4 oxygen atoms on the reactant side. There are 4 oxygen atoms on the product side. This is called a balanced chemical equation. Now, sixth step, finally, to check the correctness of the balanced equation, we count the atoms of each element on both sides of the equation. So 3Fe, 4H2O, Fe3O4, 4H2. So the numbers of atoms or elements on both sides are equal. So this equation is now balanced. This method of balancing chemical equation is called hit and trial method, as we make trials to balance the equation by using the smallest whole number coefficient. Now seventh step, writing symbols of physical states. Now just examine this particular equation. 3Fe plus 4H2O will give you Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Does this equation tell us anything about the physical state of each reactant and product? That means whether this Fe, the iron atom, is in solid state, liquid state, or gaseous state, or water is in liquid state or gaseous state. No information has been given in this equation about their physical states. So writing symbols of physical states now. To make a chemical equation more informative, the physical states of the reactants and products are mentioned along with their chemical formula. The gaseous, liquid, aqueous, and solid states of reactants and products are represented by the notations. For gaseous state, we put G. For liquid, we put L. For aqueous state, we put AQ. For solid state, we put S. So the word aqueous is written if the reactant or product is present as a solution in water. So now let us see. 3FeS, so it is in solid state. 4H2, it is in gaseous state. Fe3O4, it is in solid state. H2 is in gaseous state. So here H2O is in gaseous state. That means it indicates that In this reaction, water is used in the form of steam. Usually, the physical states are not included in a chemical equation unless it is necessary to specify them. Usually, it is not included in a chemical reaction unless it is necessary to specify them. Now, sometimes the reaction conditions such as temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. for the reaction are indicated above or below the arrow in the equation. So the reaction conditions, the particular reaction is taking place in which temperature or which pressure, which catalyst is used. So that is indicated above or below the arrow of the equation. Let us see this particular equation. Carbon monoxide reacts with hydrogen gas at 340 atmospheric pressure and you will get CH3OH methanol. Again another equation. Carbon dioxide reacts with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll and gives glucose. Dear students, this is all for today's class. Hope you all have understood it. In next class, you will learn about types of chemical reactions. Till then, bye. Take care.